Thank you for stopping by. We truly appreciate your time and support. Whether you're here for the first time or coming back, it means a lot to have you with us on this journey. There's always something new to discover. Now let's go and get to where we want to get to.
Divorce. What did Jesus say about divorce? This is Red Letters, a series where we are reading the red letters, which are the words spoken by Jesus. And today we're going to talk about when he spoke about divorce. I'm in Matthew chapter 5, verse 31. Jesus teaches about divorce. It has been said, anyone who divorces his wife must give her a certificate of divorce. But I tell you that anyone who divorces his wife except for sexual immorality makes her the victim of adultery, and anyone who marries a divorced woman commits adultery. But hold on. That's not all, though. The Study Bible is the lesson on this, and it says, divorce is as hurtful and destructive today as in Jesus' day. God intends marriage to be a lifelong commitment. When entering into marriage, people should never consider divorce as an option for solving problems or a way out of a relationship that seems dead. In these verses, Jesus is also attacking those who purposefully abuse the marriage contract, using divorce to satisfy their lustful desires to marry someone else. Jesus said that divorce is not permissible except for sexual immorality. This does not mean that divorce should automatically occur when a spouse commits adultery. The word translated sexual immorality implies as an immoral lifestyle, not a confessed and repented act of adultery. Those who discover that their partner has been unfaithful should first try to make every effort to forgive, reconcile, and restore their relationship. We are always looking for reasons to restore the marriage relationship rather than excuses to leave it. Are your actions today helping your marriage grow stronger, or are you tearing it apart? In the Old Testament, they made the law that you had to have a divorce certificate because there were people who were throwing their wives out for any old reason. So they were trying to help women because we were very, very vulnerable back in the day, and you had to rely on a man for a lot of things. So they made the contract of divorce for those reasons, that a man couldn't just throw his wife out for any old reason. That's where the first instances of divorce we see come from. See, in this moment, Jesus was teaching, and he was trying to explain to people that marriage was intended to last, and when you make that union, you should commit to that vow. So he was setting down the law. He was laying out the rules so that we could try to not break them. When we enter a marriage, there are certain contracts and laws that take place that are biblical. In the Bible, it tells us how to uphold the standards of being a godly husband and a godly wife. A lot of people don't even read the Bible, so they don't know that. But those who do read the Bible, sometimes they just don't uphold those promises. And so when those promises are broken, then the marriage is broken. So in this lesson, Jesus was trying to teach us and to keep us from getting to that broken point. He was literally saying, don't just leave your wife and marry someone else because you found someone better. Because you made a vow and a commitment to this other person. So that's what he was trying to convey. I hope this helps somebody today. May God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow with another episode of Red Letters.
Although she read a passage that originated from the Bible, it is only that, something that was once written. It's not something you should live by one way or another. You should never use your life to measure a book by it. The truth of a divorce comes from the origin of human species. Back in those days, the stronger you were, the more women wanted you. It was as simple as that. Today, the variables of a relationship have greatly changed. There is no negative or positive input. God just looks at you without anything to add. It is you that reads and engulfs himself with time-wasting books. If you love your partner and you want to be married, take that step. If you don't get married. Just don't be afraid. You can never anger God, simply because God isn't what you think it is. There is little, if anything, that you don't know about God. He doesn't judge you if you sleep with a man from work or get angry because you're sleeping with a girl from the restaurant. He sees them as learning experiences that you will share when you die. It is you that goes through the trouble of dealing with another person while with someone. Those things come and go with time, and you will have to deal with them when you die.
We'll talk
about the first time I saw my ex-husband and my daughter in public. Shockingly, it's been 6 months since we've been co-parenting, and this was actually a first. So one of my best friends was in town, and she wanted to go to our little downtown area that has a farmer's market. Yeah, so I saw my ex-husband from far away. I didn't know until we pulled up that he was also there. I always know where they go. There's this green, grassy area for the kids to play, and I saw him. And it is so weird to see your ex-husband in the wild. It's also weirder to see your child. Like, I see my child, my beautiful child, and you see them interacting with their father, and it's something you don't really get to do often as a co-parent. You kind of just go live your separate lives, and you don't really ask many questions. To see them in the wild is freaking weird. So long story short, I kind of texted him saying, hey, we're actually in the same place, FYI. Not sure if it's okay if I say hi. I wanted to give him the heads up first. He doesn't see the text. I'm in line to the bathroom, and they walk in. And thank God she's little, so she's not looking up. She's not looking for her mom. And he sees me. He goes, oh, shit, verbally. And we just make the most awkward eye contact. Like, the weirdest thing. Remember, this man, I was married to him for almost 5 years. Yeah, he was my best friend. And now we say, oh, shit, when we bump into each other in public. So freaking weird. But yeah, he did eventually say that it was okay if I wanted to say hi. And I wasn't sure if it was going to be hard to separate again, because I was supposed to pick her up 4 hours later. And I didn't want to intrude on his dad time, just like I would want the same if he were to see us on our time. Because you don't know how a 3-year-old's going to react. She might be like, oh my God, mom, and be attached and want to be with me for the next 4 hours. But we risked it, and it was the sweetest thing, because I don't think she's ever seen her mom in the wild. And she just looked at me like in shock, like, is that my mom? That's my mom. Oh my God. And she does this little cute thing where she walks backwards and sits in your lap. So she likes you to hug her like this. And she just sits in my lap. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. What a surprise, blah, blah, blah. And she was really great. And it was the same time that they got their lunch. So they walked away. She tried to pull me with her. And I said, Mommy still has to get her lunch. And thank God she forgot about me and went on to have fun. I don't know if it's ever happened to anybody else, but it is the most awkward thing to decide. Do I ignore my child? Do I pretend I don't see them? My mama heart could not. I felt like a weird, nauseous feeling. I'm like, I can't see my child and not go and say hi. So I don't know if I'm the only one. Please tell me about your seeing your ex out in the wild stories. Co-parenting is so freaking weird, and that's why we drink wine.
Lucky girl. Presumably and specifically to be lucky with this child. The most important part of this generation is knowing that your son or daughter will eventually grow up and leave the comfort and happiness of your home. Those kids will eventually go to college, get jobs, and get a family of their own. Much like you, they will follow your footsteps, and as a baby to adult, they will sadly see you go. You will show them that dying is not an end, nor a beginning. It's more of a step which finishes when you take the next one. All those moments compressed into one final stage will show you your lifetime all in one instant. Luckily, in that instant, you will see your daughter remember you as she turned to look at her mom.
Do it afraid. This was the line that gave me the courage to break up with my boyfriend and believe that God really did have his best waiting for me. And I was afraid. I'd never meet anyone better. I thought maybe my expectations are too high. What if I end up alone? But you're never gonna know if you don't take a risk on God, and if you end up settling for less because you're too afraid. So do the hard thing even when you're afraid, so you can find out whether God really does have his best for you. And if you're having these contemplations tonight, maybe this is your sign to do it afraid.
Very short clip, but very telling, especially what she feels about hope and God. If she believes in God, it is her choice. No one can tell her anything about her conviction. The problem is quite simple. If you do or don't believe in a rock, there is nothing that the rock can or can't do for you. At this point, you could choose anything in the universe. But what are you really choosing, if not your own design? You see, the sooner you come to that realization, the sooner you'll be free to do whatever it is that makes you happy and free. There is only one thing out there to believe in. It's the word you. No one else but you. Thank you for your valuable time today. It is our choice that we spend this time together. While you may or may not see some of these videos for what they are, always remember these are only two choices that are given to us to make our best decision. We don't know whether they're winners or losers. No one does. It is simply an abstract thought trying to make you think. Thanks again.